my creative friends, and welcome back to Zen and Creativity YouTube channel, your daily source of artistic inspiration during the Inktober Tangles 2023. I'm Yehudit Steinberg, your Certified Zentangle Teacher, and it's an absolute delight to be here with you once again. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell of notification so you never miss a moment of creative exploration. We're dedicated to making the Zentangle method accessible to everyone, whether you're a beginner or an experienced tangler. No question is too small, so feel free to ask us in the comments. And better yet, don't forget to join our lively Sunday virtual art lab. It's a perfect place to connect with like-minded artists from around the world and get your questions answered. You can get all that information in the description of this video. And for your convenience, I have now added chapters in the video descriptions so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. Join us live this Sunday on Zoom when we draw the pattern for day 29 together. Register on Eventbrite if you haven't already. Link is in the description for the Sunday Art Lab meetups. This is the final Inktober Tangles meetup on Sunday. The following week, on November 5th, we start our Beginners Tanglers meetup. We have a growing group from all over the globe. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the new subscribers, likes, and comments on this channel during this Inktober challenge. Also, want to thank all the tanglers who signed up for the Sunday Art Lab. We delve into different ways to create the pattern. I am so excited to show you what I've been working on in the background after I've been recording and these YouTube videos for you every day. This is the Inktober Tangles mandala template that I created and suggested that others could follow along and add a tangle a day. There are 31 spaces in this mandala here, and I have 4 days left to complete 4 more tangles in here. And I'm giving you a sneak peek. After October 31st, I will do a follow-up video on Inktober Tangles 2023, and I will go through the process that I used to create this piece and show you the finished mandala. But before we dive into today's tangle, let's take a moment to revisit the beautiful patterns we've explored in the past several days. On day 24, the tangle flutch was a lot of fun to learn, a little bit tricky, but with our simplified step-by-step method learning draw behind, known as holly buying in Zentangle Ease, it turned out to be a beautiful success. And on day 25, we learned one of my favorite tangles, onomato, and it just happens to be one of the 31 beginner tangles I'll be teaching in our beginners series. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to create a mandala 31 days with the beginner tangle, so you may want to continue along with me. On day 26, we had a lot of fun too, and that was learning Milia Crown a tangle inspired by a flower found in the Singapore Gardens by the Bay by the artist. The flower is small and the detailed pattern inside attracted her so much. In the process of naming this tangle, she could see the tangle looking like a crown, and she named it after her niece, her 4-year-old niece. The category for this beginner tangle is leaf and organic floral. It's always a pleasure to learn and create together. Now let's get started with introducing today's tangle, Camus, a tangulation of the pattern tangle Arucas and the tangle crescent moon. The category for this tangle is border and frame, and I'm also going to include high focus, which I will explain in a minute. So follow me along step by step as we construct this new pattern. Now here we are on the desktop, and as you can see, and we do this for every video in Inktober, here is the step out, and then here is the pattern Camus, and I'm going to be drawing and demonstrating on a 2-inch bijou tile. Now if you don't have a 2-inch bijou tile and you want to follow along on a 2-inch, I have templates in the beginner's guide, which you get when you join the Sunday Art Lab. There is a template for the step out. There's a template for 2-inch bijou practice, a page of them. And there's also the fabulous Inktober Tangle Mandala that you can see here. I just have, it looks like I have 4 more tangles to add to it, and it will then begin its completion, and then I'll frame it. So now let's take a look at the supplies that we have that I'll be using. If this is your first time joining us, these are basic supplies. You don't have to have the same ones that I have. A 2B pencil will work, but I like this mechanical graphite pencil to use for my sketching. I have a Micron 02. Now I have been using 01s and I'm a little heavy-handed, so I switched to the 02 and I'm liking it a little bit better because I tend to be a little heavy-handed, and its nib is a little bit stronger and not as fragile as the 01. I've been grabbing my Micron 12, which does heavy inking, and it's pretty broad, so you can use a 5 and 8. There's different sizes. Here's my graphite for shading and a blending tool to blend the shading, and some gold gel for any kind of accents that I want to put on this tangle. And now it's screenshot time. Here is the step out for Camus. Get your screenshot. Again, the category for this tangle is a border and frame tangle. And also I'm calling it high focus tangle because you have to pay attention to each step. Otherwise you can lose your place. Let's create this tangle together. I'm using a 2-inch bijou tile from Zentangle Incorporated to demonstrate, and we'll be adding it to my mandala off camera that I showed you earlier in this video. For your convenience, I've added chapters in the video description so you can jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. I'm going to start with 4 dots in the corner, which is the second step in the Zentangle method. And then step 3 is to connect them to create a border. And since this is a border tangle, it'll work really well. I turn my tile to keep my hand in the same place so that I get the best lines. So this tangle starts with drawing a straight line and then a line below it. And I'm going to aura that line, and I'm going to create another line, and I'm going to create a line at the bottom. Now, I like the layout, so I change to my 02 micron, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do step 1 and add a few little bumps. First, I'm going to ink in my lines. I'm going to create a double border of this Camus, like so. And I'm going to put a line in the middle. It's going to give a little bit of differentiation when we start with our pattern. So I'm going to see if I can do 1, 2. Looks like I can just barely get 3 on this. Try to keep them evenly spaced. I'm going to try to line them up here. This is a combination of the tangle Crescent Moon, which is the first tangle we teach in the beginner series. We will be getting to the beginner series starting in the month of November. And so that's step 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my tile a little, and step 2, we're going to make like a stem, just like a wine cup. Now we're going to move on to step 3. This is where your focus is really necessary here. So step 1, we put the cup. Step 2, we put the stem. Step 3, we're going to place a straight lines here under this horizontal lines. So again, that's line, top and bottom. So now we're going to do the curved line around the cup. Then we're going to do the straight line. It's really like an aura on either side of the stem. Remember to take a look at your step out that you took a screenshot of as we're doing this. So that's the stem. Then we go to the third part, which is the horizontal line. I really like this tangle, and once you get the hang of it, it's so much fun and really beautiful. I was really impressed with how it looks when I put it on the mandala this morning. Okay, so now we're going back. Step one is a cup, and you can do this as many times as you want, so you can stop. This is going to be my last round. So I've got the cup, the stem, coming down from that new line you just made. And then the horizontal line. Top and bottom. And you see the space, space here. You can put something in there. You can put a little design embellishment in there if you like. Okay, so there you have it. We have now completed the 6 steps for Camus. So now I'm going to ink in. I'm going to use my 12 crescent moon-like part of this pattern. I'll come back with my fine liner and get that those lines firmed up. Grab my number 2. Now I'm going to sit back. I'm going to look at it for a second, but I think what I'm going to do is darken in these as well, and then I'm going to embellish on top, because I want to give the look that I see the artist did a lot of contrast in her original drawing. I'll come back again with my 2 and I will clean it up, but I want to get most of the inking done so you don't have to sit and watch me ink for a long time. Also, I think when I use the 12, I get the 10 and the 12, actually the 8, 10, and 12. They put down a lot of ink, a little, so you're not scratching with it. 01 trying to fill the space. So I started out just using an 01 for a long time. So if that's all you have, then it's perfectly fine. And even if you have a Sharpie or what, or another type of felt tip, well, you get the idea. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to come in with little spirals there. We'll see how that works. Now I'm going to put a dot for each one of these crescent moon-like feature. And then I'm going to try and draw a very tiny, spiral. You can put whatever you like, or you can leave it blank, or however you feel like you want to work with that space. This is what I'm doing. Now, as far as the border goes, there's a number of different things you can do on the border to finish this out. I'm just going to leave it with the basic pattern. That was my idea, to get you to be able to understand the construction of these patterns. Now I'm going to come in and give a little bit. It's so tiny that I think what I'm going to do is fill in the one behind this front one. And I'm going to do the same thing over here on the side and see how that looks. If it was bigger, I would do some more detailed shading, but I'm seeing it's very tiny. And for the purposes of you maybe seeing the different layers. Okay. So this is when I suggest you go and take a look at some of the other artists on YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, wherever you're getting your ideas, and go get inspired by some of the other artists that have done some interesting embellishments and different ways to create this pattern. But for now, I'm going to come in with the blending stump, smooth it out. Doesn't show up as dark on the camera as it really is. I'm not quite sure why, but over time, I'll figure it out and make adjustments. But for now, this is what we have. You can sign up and come to this Sunday's art lab, ask your questions if you still need assistance in creating this tangle. I'm there to answer your questions. Well, there you have it. That is Camus, the Tangle Camus, on day 27. We just have 4 more days, I believe, before Inktober is over. Just because Inktober is over doesn't mean that you have to stop creating these patterns, or that you can even start and begin creating these patterns. These patterns are here for you, and they're here for you to enjoy and learn, and at your own convenience. Now, speaking of convenience, I've added chapters in the video description if you have to review a special part of the video, so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. And beginners, don't get frustrated during Inktober Tangles Challenge learning process. Follow me step by step. Create a copy of the step out on your practice sheet and get the beginner's guide when you register that comes with the Sunday meetup registration. Now, the registration is going to close on Sunday, and we'll be opening our beginners lab this weekend, and there will be an announcement over the weekend about the beginners YouTube series and our art lab new membership. So stay tuned for that. If you're enjoying our tutorials and haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps us reach more creative people like yourself. And as I said, don't forget about the Sunday virtual art lab. This Sunday, the last Sunday, we are drawing the tangle for day 29, and you can ask your questions and get them answered. And if you just started Inktober and you have questions and you want to know how to navigate the whole process, register in Eventbrite and come to the virtual meeting. As we look ahead, mark your calendars for our upcoming beginner series in November. Beginner series on YouTube will be a new video once a week delivered on Sunday. This begins on Sunday, November 5th. In addition, we are continuing our Sunday art lab on Zoom especially for beginners. Easy pattern demonstrations you can draw with me that go beyond the YouTube beginner videos. It's a perfect opportunity to deepen your Zentangle practice, and you can join our new membership club, or you can come to a single visit, your choice. Registration opens this weekend. The links will be in the description. Plus, for those of you who'd like to show extra support and buy us a virtual cup of coffee, visit our Ko-fi.com tip jar. Your support keeps this creative space going. Well, that's it for today's Tangle exploration. Remember, there's no behind, just a world of creativity ahead. Stay inspired, and we'll see you on day 28. It's fun to learn new tangles. Happy tangling.